to the Checkered Pony Knitting Podcast. This is episode 4. I am Lindsay Allen. I am the hands and the mind and the yarn and the needles behind the Checkered Pony. And this is my podcast. Welcome! I'm so glad you're here. Okay, I'm gonna keep this brief. I've got to get my kids off the school bus pretty soon, but I definitely wanted to stop in. I wasn't able to get sitting down and together enough yesterday to have my regular podcast time. I'm not certain if I'm going to stick with Mondays. For some reason, Mondays are getting a little sticky for being able to get my podcast done. So it might change to Tuesdays. It might change to Thursdays. I'm just not really sure. There might have to be a change coming in the near future for our scheduling. But I definitely will try to keep it every week. I will try to at least have a little episode for you guys every single week, just to show you what I'm working on, to show you my progress on things, and keep you informed on what's going on in my world. Now, for our last episode, I mentioned that this week was my birthday, and so my husband was going to be taking me away for a birthday weekend full of sports and baseball, which is fun, but it's not normally how I would imagine spending my weekend, but it was so much fun. I had a blast at the baseball games. I took my knitting with me, not into the game, but like in the car and at the hotel and, everything like that. And so it was a nice getaway. And then yesterday was actually my birthday. So rather than doing all the work that I probably should have done, I decided that once my kids were off to school, that my toddler and we were going to celebrate my day, and we were going to go around town and do all of my favorite things. And so we were out all day long, and I took a bunch of pictures of our adventures, and so I will actually insert those now so you can just kind of see the craziness that happened yesterday and the fun that we had together, and how I just was able to celebrate my special day. And if you share a birthday with me on September 10th, I wish you a happy birthday buddy. And it was a great day. We had a lot of fun. So I will put that in now, and I'll see you on the other side. We went around everywhere and picked up my souvenirs, wherever we went. And so a couple things that we we found, if you've been watching my podcast, you know how much I love coffee. And so one of our stops that we made was one of my favorite stores, Anthropologie, and I found this mug, and it has an L on it for Lindsay, and it also says love, but this reminded me so much of stitches, of knitting, and it reminded me a lot of stitches and knitting needles, and I thought it was just perfect for me for my birthday. So my Anthropologie mug, woo, and that was a lot of fun. That was a little unexpected. Our first stop was an obvious choice. I come from Nashville, Tennessee. I was born and raised in the South, and we have Cracker Barrel restaurant everywhere. I mean, just, you know, every other interstate exit has a Cracker Barrel, and we love it. I love it. And so I grew up with that. And so we just had a Cracker Barrel open up here in the Pacific Northwest, close near my home. And so our first stop was Cracker Barrel. We didn't stop for a meal, but I did go shopping in the store, and I got my necessity, my Goo Goo clusters. I like the Supreme. They have pecans, I think. Yeah, they have pecans rather than peanuts, and I just love it. They're so, so good. I may have had a couple of these yesterday on my own. So that was our first stop. We had to get our Goo Goo clusters at Cracker Barrel. And then I knew for sure I was going to be going to my yarn store. I can't possibly go out, you know, and celebrate my favorite things and go to all my favorite places and not go to my favorite yarn store. And I knew that I also wanted to go to a bookstore. And so I was going to just go to Barnes & Noble. I love Barnes & Noble. But is it my favorite bookstore? No, it is not. My favorite bookstore is Powell's City of Books. It is in downtown Portland, Oregon. So my baby and I went to the city. We drove to the city, and that was an adventure on its own. Okay, I don't drive in the city ever. It was crazy, and I'm very proud of myself that we made it into a parking garage, and that I navigated and we found where we were going. We went to Powell's City of Books, and we perused the classics section, and I picked up a few classics. We got A Little Princess, because I have two little princesses, and I don't have this book. So, and I love the older books. I like classics that have some age on them. I love old books. And so I just got a pretty hardcover Little Princess. And then I also got The Three Musketeers, also just a hardcover. I have two rambunctious little boys, and I thought, you know, these can be some fun classics. I want to read the classics. I have read several classics to my children. Even as babies, I just read them out loud. I read them 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Did they understand the story? Probably not. We've read Robin Hood. We've read, Winnie the Pooh, which is an obvious one. But, we've read through several classics that they probably had no idea what in the world was going on. But it was a bonding time for us together. I was able to read the story. They were able to listen to me. We snuggled. They were seeing the words. They were hearing the words and the language. And, it's beneficial for all of us. And I love reading with my kids. It's something that's very, very, it's a precious time for me. So I'm really looking forward to being able to read those books with them. Those were my non-yarn things. One more sip of coffee out of my mug. So my last stop yesterday, and it was my last stop because I knew I was probably going to take the most time, was my favorite store. Well, okay, my favorite local yarn shop. I'm partial. It's the only local yarn shop that we have. I mean, we have the big yarn, you know, crafting chains like Joann's and Michael's. We don't have a Hobby Lobby. I kind of wish we did. But we have Craft Warehouse. But as far as a independent yarn shop where they carry indie dyed yarns and smaller yarn brands and the high different quality of yarn, you know, the natural, the animal fibers and that kind of stuff come from this shop, and it is called Blizzard Yarn and Fiber. And I could spend all day in this store just walking around and feeling everything. And I don't know if you can tell, but this bag is pretty full. I really treated myself. I had a little bit of birthday money, and I treated myself. You know, I was frugal, okay? I got my books, but these are used books. I got my coffee mug. It was on sale. I got my chocolate. That was full price, but it's worth every penny. My yarn, that's kind of where I stretch myself a little bit more, and I'm a little bit more willing to invest in my high quality yarn. But I will say I got a brand that I have never tried before. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I've been dying to try it. There was a sale. I had a lot of help in the store and inspiration, and I wanted it. It was my birthday, my special time. It's what I wanted. So I will show you all of the yarns that I got. I know I showed you a picture of it, of myself in the store, but I didn't show you what I got. So I think I'll start off. This is the first one I picked up. And the color never seems to come through on my camera, but this is like, it's a very subtle blue, and it has a little bit of a gray hue to it, but I can tell you on my camera it looks a lot grayer than it is. It's a lot more of a blue, a sea blue, this light sea foamy green blue. It's very, very pretty, but then it has like these orange and brown speckles throughout it, and then I got it to pair with this orange. There's a shawl that I want to make that has a gradient color change, and so I wanted to get some yarns that worked together that I could use for my shawl. Oh, I didn't tell you what brand it was, guys. I didn't tell you. It's Madeline Tosh. Mad Tosh. I've never used Madeline Tosh before, and I can't believe it. So all the yarn I got yesterday was Madeline Tosh. So I got these two, and then I was like, I really need at least one more. And this one's kind of coming apart a little bit because I've unhanked it and I tried to rewind it, and you guys know me, I can't rehank. So I got this one. It also has the oranges and the browns. It doesn't really have the blue. So I'm struggling trying to figure out what order I want these to go in. Do I have this on this end? I'd like your opinions. If you guys think there's a certain, you know, does it go in the middle? I don't know. Should I just do these? Should I just do these? You know, what a horrible problem to have. I can't decide which of my yarns to use together. I'm gonna use them all. I just don't know how. But I loved them all so much, and I just thought they were so pretty. How they all just kind of tied together. So these I got with the intention of using to make a shawl. I may just make 2 shawls and pretty much divide this one in half and then supplement these 2 with this one, since the orange seems to go with both. I have a feeling that's what I'm going to do. I just especially loved it with this one. I love that coloring. But then this one was so spotty and speckly, I could not leave it. I just love all of these colors in there. It's so much fun. And then when I was in the store, I had gotten those. I knew I was going to get those. There was another lady shopping in the store. One more sip of coffee. There was another lady in the store. I didn't think anything of it. She was just chatting with the sweet gal that was working there yesterday, And they were looking at, you know, they have displays of projects that have been completed in the store, you know, and that kind of stuff. And they were looking at this one project in particular. And so I happened to just kind of meander over there just to see what they were looking at. And it turns out the woman that was in the store was actually the lady that designed this, a stole. She designed a stole and had knit it up. She had written the pattern and had her test knitters knit it up and everything, and she was there. And she had put her stole on display in the store. And so she was she and I were talking about the different yarns that she used for it, and she gave me some suggestions on what she was going to make another one and what she was going to be using. And she had her pattern for sale in the store, and this is her. And I don't want to give away my code, but she is from Knitwork Design Studio. Knitwork Design Studio. And the pattern is called I Stole a Seaside Cottage. And you can get this pattern on Ravelry, and I have to tell you, this pattern is hysterical. It's a beautiful stole, but she herself she is so funny. She's hilarious, and the way she wrote out her pattern and the sections of her pattern is so witty and it's so funny. I cannot wait to make this stole pattern. So I also got yarn to make the stole. Now you can see from her picture that it has two different colors. There's a lace section, and then there's it's kind of like a garter ridge section, but it's all at an angle. And so she suggested, because what she was going to be doing was to use some of the Madeline Tosh, what's it called? Is it Stellia? It's the shimmery stuff in the yarn for the lace pattern. So I found this purple one that I just loved, and it has some light speckles of like the brown and some black, a little bit of gray in it. But then it has the shimmer. I don't know if you can see it. It has I wish I could remember what it's called without unhanging my whole thing. I can't remember. Please tell me what it's called. Is it Stellia? I don't remember. Tell me what it is. But it has the shimmery stuff. And I'll tell you, I had never wanted to try the shimmer because I thought it would itch. To me, it looked itchy. And I didn't want to knit something that was itchy. It's not itchy. You can't even feel it. It's just pretty. It's shimmery and sparkly, and I cannot feel it in the slightest. It feels totally fine against my skin. It doesn't itch at all. Not a bit. So I got this purple for the lace section of the stole, and then for the garter ridge section, I got a cream that has the little the little purple speckles in it. So these are what I'm going to use to make my I Stole a Seaside Cottage stole. And everything in her it's a play on words. Her pattern is so cute. I really, really encourage you to go buy it on Ravelry. It's $5 on Ravelry, and it's by Knitwork, Knitwork, Knitwork Design Studio. And I'll put the information down in the section below, the description below, because I loved that she was in the shop. Okay, she was a local designer at our local yarn shop. That's so exciting. I love the idea that, oh man, what if someday I could write a pattern? That would be so cool. And then to have it on display in my yarn shop, that'd be amazing. So I was so excited. I bought her pattern yesterday when I was at Blizzard Yarn. It was there. I wanted to support her and this adventure for her, and I wanted the pattern. It's a beautiful pattern. you'll love it. So those are my stash enhancements. My purples, and then my pretty fall colors. Oh, I just love it so much. Yeah, I think I'll just have to make 2 different projects. So I've got 3 projects right here. It's my birthday. I'll buy yarn if I want to. So those were my birthday adventures yesterday. I totally went out of order. I had my whole list of things I was going to talk to you guys about. Okay, so whips, my works in progress. I am double checking my time. Okay, I'm good. While I was on my weekend birthday baseball trip, I was able to work a little bit on my gully washer shawl, and I managed to get in, I think about, I'd say 2.5 sections. I'd say I think this section was just a tiny bit done last time I saw you, and I finished that, did another section, and now I'm about halfway through this section, and this is the last section of this first part, and then I have one more chunk, and then I'm halfway done. So I am so close. Honestly, I wish I could say my goal tonight would be to be halfway done with this. I wonder if I could do it. I bet I could. I'm going to try. My goal is to be halfway done with this thing by tonight. Okay, wish me luck. But I love the way it's looking, and it feels so nice. It feels so good. And I'm awfully proud of myself because I've managed to do that. So here's hoping halfway through. Finished objects, not a 1. Nothing, nada. I have worked on my lemon tart scarf, but I didn't bring it up to show you. I think I have about 4 more sections of squares, 3 or 4 more to do, and then the 2 sides of the garter ridge will be the same. Will be the same length, but I know I'm going to have leftover yarn, and it makes me crazy. That's what I like about, another thing I love about this stole pattern. She tells you in the description, you will use 2 hanks of yarn, 2 skeins of yarn, almost completely up. She said if you knit a little bit loose, you could be in jeopardy. And I love that. I don't think that I knit loose, but I love that I know for sure I've spent my money on this yarn, and I, by golly, better be using every little inch of it that I can. I don't like wasting it. It's too precious. So yeah, no finished objects whatsoever. Hopefully I'll be halfway through. We'll see. And then you guys, I still have not cast on for my sweater cowls. What am I gonna do? Oh my goodness. I mean, granted, I still have until the end of November for these things, but I feel like, oh my word, I'm on a serious time crunch now to get these things done. I'm feeling like a little bit of anxiety that if I don't at least get them cast on, I'm never going to. And I just know that's not true. I've got my yarn back here. My issue right now is whether I want to make the sweater for my kids, make the little boxy, or if I just, because I signed up for the 3 projects for the Hohi cow. I signed up for the little boxy, the easy one, which is a sweater that's my size, and then for Rafa's hat. I'm not worried about the hat. I think the hat I can probably bang out in a couple days. The sweater I know is going to take me weeks. It's going to take me hours and hours to make. So do I want to invest the hours into a sweater for my daughter? Or do I want to make one for myself? That then I can show you and wear it. I need help. Tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm torn because I want to complete all of them, but if it comes down to it and I've got to pick, the hat, that's a given. I can do that any day. But the sweaters, am I really gonna have time for both, or do I just want to focus on one? And if I do, which one? That's the dilemma. So that's all I have for you guys today. I thought I had more, but I don't. 20 minutes plus my little video, so you know, a few minutes there. Guys, I hope you're doing great. Tell me what's going on with y'all. I would love to see what you guys are working on. I don't even know. Can you post pictures in the comments? I don't know. Can you? I would love to see what you guys are working on. I'm serious. I show you what I'm doing all the time. I would like to see what you are working on. I will say this. One thing I was considering about my stole, I'm considering trying this on the loom. I have the needles to do this. And looking at the pattern, I don't think there are any stitches that I wouldn't be able to figure out. But I am seriously considering putting this on the loom instead and seeing how it works up. I'm not certain. Don't hold me to that. I love these. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'll let you know when I decide. I'll be sure to show it to you guys. All right. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment below. Check out thecheckeredpony.com to see what I still haven't put anything new on there. Seriously, I've got this, my Apex shawl that's been done for like a month or two, and I still have not put it on my store. Someday I will. But go check that out anyway. See what's there. I have sales all the time and coupon codes, discount codes. I will be sure to put in a Ravelry, either a link or a way that you can look up this pattern if you're interested in seeing it. It's really, really pretty. And I'll just give a little shout out to my favorite places: Cracker Barrel, Powell's Books, and Blizzard Yarn and Fiber, and Anthropologie. I love you guys. Those are my favorite things. And my little red-headed toddler, who was my partner in crime yesterday. We had such a blast. Good memories. All right, you guys, I love you. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will look forward to talking to you next time. Take care, guys. Bye.